when things are going great, you know, you're having a great day, you feel great, it's easy to sort of assume that that's the new standard, or to realize like, oh, okay, well, every day should be like this. But even when you're in your finer moments, you've got to realize that, hey, this is probably just an exception. You know, this might just be an exception. That might be a better way to think of it. So, you know, just to take advantage and appreciate the fact that you're having a day that's going well. And not expect that every day that follows will be the same. You know, I think I have found that the day after a really good day tends to be disproportionately worse. And I say disproportionately because it's really not that much worse. It's just the fact that I was likely hoping for another really good day. So the day itself, you know, might have just been fine. The fact that you're expecting an amazing day almost makes it like a bad day. So it sort of skews your baseline. So just remembering that, hey, when you have a good day, you might be raising the baseline. You know, it's kind of like a healthy stock. You know, one that it's always going to go up and down, but if the trend over time is positive, you know, then that's ideal. So that could be happening. You know, we could be raising the baseline gradually over time. So just kind of accepting that even, you know, in that next day, being thankful that you had a good day prior, and that likely the day you're in, you know, which is the day following the good day, that day is actually probably most likely easier than it would have been if you didn't have a good day the day before. I think that because I would say chances are in your good day, you know, you did something fulfilling, or you were productive, you got some things done, you had a good day, you watered some of your internal psychological plants, if you will, to where, because you took care of some of those things, you know, some of those things aren't as much on your psyche or on your mind, and you actually have a little bit more capacity and space to handle the not as good day that follows. So again, this is kind of just like a personal experience, and the things that I share on here on this podcast are going to be, you know, they're meant to be things that, you know, worked for me, or things that rang true for me. It's not to say like this is how it is, but this is just kind of food for thought. That when you're having a great day, appreciate it, make the most of it, but don't set your bar there as far as, okay, I'm only happy if tomorrow is as good of a day. Because, you know, chances are it's not the case. And I better take my own advice tomorrow when when the day isn't as smooth or energizing or something like that, you know. So, and as I look over here to the right, I see on a different highway over here, looks like traffic is completely stopped. So there's something going on, you know. Prayers for whoever might have been the victim of an unfortunate, you know, accident or something like that. But hey, you know, that right there not only could have completely ruined a good day for someone who was involved, but also potentially is affecting the good day or good days of the people that are stopped up in this traffic at 9 a.m. on a work day, you know? And I'm catching a break. I'm cruising over here in my lane. So just like noticing those blessings and saying thanks, you know, thanking God, being grateful that for when things are going your way. You know, you're not entitled for things to go your way. I've touched on that before, but man, I need the reminding of this as much as anybody, you know, is that part of our dissatisfaction, you know, or struggles in life, they come from desire. That's why desire can be dangerous. When you can gradually shift your defaults from desiring to accepting and appreciating, just appreciating kind of whatever is, you're more likely to be consistently content, or at least be content more consistently. Because when you're desiring all the time and trying to control the way your day goes and really hoping that your day goes a certain way, well, when it doesn't, that's the nature of the world, is it's got its own rhythm that has nothing to do with what you want it to be. You know, it's gonna do what it's gonna do. Life's gonna throw what it's gonna throw. Shit. All right. Excuse my language. We have a sudden slow up here in my lane. So, you know, there's something that I want to completely stop just now, almost. No? But I'm good. I wasn't set on, all right, my day or my commute has to go perfectly smoothly in order to be content. Like, I'm good with that. That's just, I have no control over that happening. Why would I stress about something like that? But, you know, the more often you can just desire, or I should say, the more you can detach from desire, the better off you'll be. Because when you desire and you don't get, that is what can create difficulty. Seems like some simple math here, but must be pretty advanced, because it takes me a while to remember that sometimes. Now I'm completely stopped. I jinxed myself. I saw a slow up, and caffeine of the morning, coffee number 2. We just kept it simple on the go with a little K-Cup Summit Roast organic medium roast coffee from Kirkland brand from Costco, I believe. Yeah, don't often get to look over at this dealership here that I'm usually cruising past. It's something new. Okay, anyway, I think I got the point across. You know, hope you're counting your blessings today. Practice appreciating what is, you know. Practice pausing and noticing when you find yourself really desiring something. And then think about what's the worst case scenario if you don't get that, and realizing that that's probably not that bad. And in that way, when you don't get it or it doesn't occur the way you want, you're good, because your satisfaction wasn't dependent on a specific result. You can just be satisfied and content, really, in any situation, based on how you perceive things and what your default mode is. So anyway, catch you guys next time. Make it great. All right, peace.